What's going on, guys? We're gonna start the video off by truck and trailer. So I don't know if this is gonna be an issue that you're gonna be having, but if you're having any electrical issues with the Ram, whether it's loss of power inside the cab, it won't start, key fobs quit working, shifter quits working, this may be a problem that you have. And so yeah, basically what happened with my truck is at first I came back from Florida, back to Michigan, and went to go start the truck, and it fired it up, but the gear selector wouldn't work. So I paid $300 to get it towed to my work, like my employment work, and ordered a new $550 shifter knob thing for the Ram because it's common for those to go out. Replaced that, and it didn't change anything. Actually, it got worse, progressively worse. So then the truck stopped wanting to start. I had no power on the inside except for things like headlights, tail lights, things like that, like dome lights and stuff like that. But anything when it came to trying to start it, trying to use the key fobs, trying to scan codes, couldn't do any of that. So when we started digging into it, the TIPM, or what you guys probably know as the fuse box below, was just full of corrosion. Now, that's partially due to the fact that I am missing wheel liners. Everything is disgusting and corroded ever since I stopped driving the truck for that week and a half I was in Florida. But right under there, under this area, is where the fuse box is, the underside of it. And that entire side was just corrosion. It was salt built up, corrosion, everything like that. So we found the broken wire for the shifter knob and went ahead and repinned that, put a new pin in there, and it worked. And I drove it home. As soon as I got home, that was all she had. It won't fire up, won't start, no ignition power. So I decided to pull the fuse box back up, and I used some hot water. So either I was gonna ruin the fuse box, ruin the truck or whatever, but I was pretty fed up. So hot water gets rid of corrosion instantly. So if you have a bunch of corrosion on your battery, just dump a cup of hot water on there and the corrosion will go away. Well, I did that, and as soon as I did that, there was about 7, 8, 9 broken wires on, I think it was a C2 connector that goes to the fuse box. I'm not 100% sure. So the remedy for that is I went on Amazon and I picked up all the fuse box connectors, and we're gonna go ahead and rewire everything. So it's in about a day or two, the connectors, the little butt connectors will be here. You need about 250 of them. So those will be here, and we'll start tearing this fuse box up and start cutting and connecting new harnesses or new connectors, and we'll see if it fires up. All right, so it's been a couple days, but we got everything for the issue. Got this bag full of connectors, and I'm not gonna lie, I already started it. I already started the job, basically finished the job. I was gonna replace all of these, but really there was only one bad connector. I've been here for about 2.5, 3 hours anyways, and this is what I came up with. So I pulled the fuse box up, as you can see. Now to pull the fuse box, it's very easy. You got a 13mm nut holding this power cable that actually powers the entire TIPM, or the fuse box. Then you got 4 tabs right here, and over here, and right down here. You basically pop the fuse box up, and then you take these connectors off. If your electrical issue is like mine, where you had no power on the inside of the truck or anything, you don't have to be too careful with these if you're going to replace them anyways. But just be careful. These are brittle. They do like to break, and then they won't secure in there good enough. And this is like the lifeline of your vehicle right here. Besides the computer and everything else, this makes everything work. So this is a new connector that I had to replace. And basically I went step by step, cutting wires, using these butt connectors right here, these non-insulated ones, and then using some heat shrink that I have right there. And went through and one by one down the line on the same side of the connector and just wired them together. These other ones, not looking too bad. I did go through with some brake clean and brake clean the connectors off. But this is the connector that was an issue. Here's the bottom of it. And then here's the back part. You see all that corrosion. There were 3 little wires that broke off. These 3 actually right here. And I had no idea where they went coming from the main harness. But it turns out they must just be reference. I just wired them together just randomly. And the truck fired up and started and everything like that. So if you blow a fuse, I know there, you know, on this one, there's 2 20 amp fuses and 1 5 amp fuse. So say if I get the 5 amp wrong and it blows, I'll just replace it with a 20 amp fuse and then just go from there. It's definitely not the best ideal way, but it works, and my truck is running again and everything else. Also, if you guys aren't aware and you have a Ram, now this has nothing to do with the corrosion right here. This has stuff to do with the corrosion, no wheel liners. If you guys have a Ram and you want to turn off stability control, I actually sell, this is the wireless version of the harness. It is unhooked right now, and it actually looks cooler. I'll put a picture up right now of what it actually looks like.
The future is here. This is the new wireless stability control bypass harness. Same purpose, completely new concept. Hit the button, shut it down, and let that truck eat. Simple install, rugged as hell. Built to handle anything. Full control. Only if you really want it.
But all you do is you ground it right here, and then you hook it into your fuse box. So there's my fuse right there that it plugs into. There's a little bit of corrosion on there too. Basically, it allows you to use a key fob to turn your stability control on and off. You guys can go ahead and find one that works for your truck. There's J case, M case. If you have any questions, just email me or message me on the website, but it's www.gottiesgarage1.com, and get yourself a harness to make your truck fun. So basically now all I'm doing is cleaning everything up. You know, I try to get as much corrosion and stuff out of there as I can. This will be a problem later down the road. All the auto parts stores are now closed. I was gonna get some dielectric grease, but I'm gonna have to do that here in the future. And we're gonna go ahead and plug everything back in to the TIPM right there. You know, finish up. Hopefully this is an issue that, you know, you guys can find. Like I said in the beginning of this video, this was an issue that I could not find. I was chasing all these problems around, and it was progressively getting worse, and that is because wires were breaking. So let's just go ahead and put this all back together and fire this thing up. All right, hopefully you guys can hear me because this heater running behind me, but it is freezing outside. Anyways, fuse box is locked in to these little clips right here like I told you about. We're just gonna hook up this little power supply right here, a little 13mm nut. All right, we're gonna plug the stability control bypass harness in. Go ahead and shut the fuse lid. That just snaps on right here, just like that. I'm gonna save this. And just like that, we have full interior power again. We're gonna go ahead and uh-oh. Now it doesn't want to run. There we go. We'll let it run for a little bit, just make sure it keeps starting. Hey, I forgot to show you guys a video of it starting back up because I decided to clean the shop up and clean the truck out a little bit. But I am driving home right now, and so far, everything seems to be very good. But we'll see. I don't want to jinx it. I definitely want to clean the engine bay out and try to get all the salt and stuff like that, because if you guys didn't know, hot water wiper is really good for corrosion. You know, it wipes it right away. But yeah, check this out. They're driving 80 miles an hour down the highway. Everything is working as it should. So yeah, I know that this fix probably won't help everybody, but for those who are chasing problems and can't find them, I think this could be a good video for you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope it was informative. Any questions, concerns, comments, anything like that, go ahead and put them down below and I'll get right back to you. And yeah, hit that subscribe button, give this video a big thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next one.